All right, welcome back. Sunday Coach's Corner. We took a long break, man, but we're back in action. The fall season is about to kick off. We got our kickoff classic this Friday. And actually, more excitingly than the dang fall classic, we got a new host, man.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we got our boy, Andrew Abendroth, class of 2018 grad from Satellite. And I know he's pumped to be here. I fired Knox, so there's
Get him out of here. I'm better than him. Way better.
There's a high standard for being the host on this show.
It is.
He's already doing awesome. He doesn't ask as many questions as Knox does, and he's a lot funnier. So Knox, thanks for all you did for us.
Love you, but got to replace it.
But he got replaced. All right. So, New, talk a little bit about yourself so everybody kind of knows who you are and where you're coming from.
My name's Andrew Abendroth. I played for Coach Kimmey for 4 years. Probably the best 4 years of my life. It was extremely fun. Awesome coach to have. Great guy. Taught me a lot of things in life. Helped me a lot to get to college. Football really helped me through high school and everything. But it was great playing for him. I played middle linebacker for him. Varsity for about 3 years. That senior season, though. That was one of the most memorable years of my life.
Won't forget that. That was a great group, and Nunu was
Family.
one of the key leaders of that group, and he was a team captain. So just excited to have him on board. He's staying local, going to Eastern Florida, and so he'll be around this season, and you'll be seeing a lot of them here on the Coaches Show. So again, we're excited just to get back at it and to kick it off for this season. We're just going to do a short kind of summer review. And then after that summer review, we'll get into this week's game, talk a little bit about Space Coast, and then what everybody can see from us on Friday night, and that'll be it. We'll kind of wrap it up. The goal is to keep it less than 20 minutes. You think we can do that?
I'm gonna have to cut you off a lot, but
yeah, exactly. That's what I told him. I said it won't be him, it'll be me, the long-winded.
Exactly.
So. I will say, though, before we get into it, I'm going to make the prediction now. I'm going to go Eagles, Chiefs, Super Bowl 27-17.
I'm with him on that one. His son was right about one game last year, I think.
Yeah. This was Graham's. Graham helped me with the prediction, so we sat down and talked about it. Last year we were flying back from the Falcons game, and Graham and I went to that game, and they were playing the Vikings next. I said, Graham, what do you think the score is going to be of the Vikings game? And he said 40-8 or something like that, and I was like, 40-8. The Vikings had like one of the best defenses in the league, and I'm like, okay. Everybody on the plane's like laughing at them, and then it was like 38-8 or whatever the score was. But Graham was right, so I'm gonna trust him. So I just wanted to throw that out, and I might look like this might pay off later on.
It really might.
You know what I mean? When the Super Bowl
talked about it,
yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the summer. You remember summertime when you were playing.
Rough.
What'd you think about summer?
Hot, long. Didn't really look forward to it that much right after school ended, but once you
the
start
truth comes out once they graduate.
It came out, yeah. But once you start going to everything, you love it. You just love working with your brothers, sweating together. You know, it's just great having fun out there.
Yeah.
Just preparing for the upcoming season. You know, just getting better at what you do, working your craft and everything.
And Coach Hodges.
Coach Hodges was. I wish we had him all 4 years. That would have been great. But Coach Carter did an awesome job too. But then once Coach Hodges came in, he kind of just helped us all get athletic. He worked a lot of different things that we haven't seen before, and it kind of helped us out in various ways. So I loved it. It was awesome time for me. I had like work after all of it and everything. It would suck. I would be sore for days on days.
I know. Summer's tough, man, but you know you definitely get prepared for that first game.
And that beach workout is the best at the end of the year.
Yeah, going to the sand.
Yeah,
and then jumping in the water afterwards.
Hard work, yeah, it feels good.
But so some of the things that at least from the team's perspective, and Nunu kind of talked about it from the players' perspective, but at least from the coach's perspective for this summer. Some of the things that really stood out to me, I'm going to start with the community stuff that we did. Every year around the 4th of July holiday, we plant 10,000 flags from causeway to causeway, and it's always pretty awesome for the community.
You don't really know how much of an impact it does on the community until your first game comes up and everyone shows up, supports you, and you see how much people donate. It's awesome, really. It really is awesome to see how the community supports you.
It's everything from 25 cents all the way up to $500. But people are saying, hey, look, this is all I have, and I'm willing to give what I can to Satellite football.
We'll take anything.
And then we also did our first annual golf tournament. That was fun.
Yeah, that looked exciting.
We had over 100 golfers participate over at Suntree Golf Course. Thanks to Steve LaMontagne for helping us out and facilitating that. We did a couple community service days, and then we just finished up our annual Scorp card sale, and we sold about 1,000 Scorp cards around the community.
Scorp cards.
And every year, I remember back in high school selling the Cougar card. That was my
that was your thing.
Yeah, that was our mascot.
Scorp cards.
So it doesn't change no matter what school you go to.
And with the flags and everything like on this community service, like all that type of stuff, I would have to. My mom was the president or whatever, so I would have to help with everything.
You had no choice.
I remember taking those 4th of July flags and scraping the Made in China signs off of them.
That's right.
Every single flag. How many flags did we have?
10,000.
Had it. That was in scrape.
Yeah. Splinters. You were just
hands cramping. Like you're like.
You'll never look at an American flag the same again, right?
Oh man.
But you know, it was an awesome summer. We just finished up Maxon. And it wasn't just the awesome gains that we had from some of our older guys. Nick Bergeron, the first new member, new, it's ever been done. He's the 1,600-pound club.
Oh wow,
1,640
big
pounds.
Boy. Yeah.
So 1,640 pound total for Nick Bergeron. So we hadn't had that before, and so
JD deadlifted like 5.
Another new record for our team, 550. 550 pounds, J.D. Arnold.
I mean, he was a grown man when he came in high school already, so.
He's got a full beard, man. Yeah, his beard's bigger than mine.
Taller than me when I was a senior.
Yeah,
he was a freshman. I was like, what is this?
J.D. came as like as a 7th grader to our summer workouts, and I would I'd talk to him, I'll be like, so, next year, and he was like going into his 7th grade year, and I would just talk to him, hey, so next year when you come up to 9th grade, and he would always go, Coach, I'm a 7th grader. Coach, I kept forgetting because he just never.
He's huge.
Yeah, he has never looked like a 7th grader, but and even now he doesn't even look like a junior.
Yeah, he's a great kid though. He's a standout player.
Yep.
3.9
GPA, good
smart,
kid, man. So that's at least from the summer's perspective, we have kind of had those high numbers, but my favorite part was like those guys that are always middle of the road, like they even had gains, and our youngest kids.
Yeah,
too.
Your whole team's got to make gains. You can't have your top people just perform. You have everyone perform.
Right, and you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Exactly,
exactly.
I mean? That's why I remember we had how many seniors did we have last year?
14
seniors, and I remember us 14 seniors couldn't pull off a win together.
That's right.
If it wasn't for some of the underclassmen we had, and the underclassmen I remember worked their tails off. And props to them because that's hard. That's hard when you have seniors hovering over you, yelling at you like you got to get better.
Right.
And
seniors are. I don't want to say they're always going to be the most bought in, but typically they are just because
it's 4 years,
it's the last season for them.
It gets emotional, Yeah. That was an emotional year. Yeah, it was awesome. I could not ask for it to end any other way.
Didn't want to take the pads off at the end or leave the field. I remember that.
I stayed on that field for like half an hour.
This year, I think we'll set up a couple tents and the seniors can sleep out.
Sleep there. I was really thinking.
Yeah, right.
Let's just sleep out here. It's sad, but it's nice to know that you learned a lot with the 4 years, with your great help and everything. It was a great 4-year high school experience for me. I
had a great experience in high school. I felt the same way.
It was rough in the beginning. We had some rough patches, but that's what made that senior season pay off so much more. We worked our tails off for the first 2 years, and we were just like, we gotta get better, and just things weren't working our way, and we just a mindset just changed, and we were like, you know what, I'm not. All the upcoming seniors were saying we're not ending our 4 years like this. It's got to change. Yeah. And I remember that Key West game was.
That's what set the whole tone for the whole season.
That was the rough.
I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I said it was legitimately like a state championship playoff game.
It was.
That's what it felt like. I mean.
For some reason, we had a rivalry with them, but I didn't even know
they didn't like us. We didn't like them. I don't know why, but
I know. I remember after the game, it was awkward because we had to go to our bunks, and
we were right next door.
Their weight room where they had to change.
They did give us props though.
They talked to us. I remember they found a stolen towel. I'm not gonna name who stole it, but
that's right.
Someone had a towel, and they're like, "Yo, that's my towel."
One of our guys had a towel in his hand, and it said Key West on. The guy's standing right there. Can I have my towel back?
He was like, "It's not yours."
So another great, just kind of talking about how summer and the kickoff classic leads into and set the tone for the whole season, which is where we're at right now. summer's finished now for the 2018-19 season for this year, and now we're getting ready to go on the Kickoff Classic, which is going to set the tone.
They have a tight bond. I know.
Yeah.
I know they do. Yeah, all of them. You don't have as many seniors this year, but you have a really great ones. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So a couple new changes at Satellite that we haven't had in a long time. We had our principal, Mark Elliott, here for 16 years. We got a brand new principal, Bobby Pruitt, who's coming to us from Delora. And he's also a Satellite grad. And we also have a new athletic director, TJ Gaudy, who grew up in Satellite for all of his life. He still lives here. He was at Cocoa as the athletic director for the last couple months, and he moved over here. So just wanted to give a shout out to not necessarily them, but just wanted to kind of just let the community and the parents and families know how behind the program these guys are. And when you have a principal and an athletic director that get it, that are behind your team and they want to support you, you can get a lot of things done, not just on the field but off the field. And I'm excited for their motivation. They're all about the athletes' total academic and athletic and high school experience. They want that experience to be memorable. They want athletes to be proud that they played football, that they proud they went to Satellite, and they want to and so proud that they want to come back later and either work at Satellite or contribute to Satellite in whatever way, shape, or form. Satellite's one of the last few community high schools that still exist in the county. There's so many high schools around that share a lot of borders.
Yeah.
Coco's right next to Rockledge, and O'Galley, is right next to Viera, and Melbourne's right next to Palm Bay and MCC, and they're all. But Satellite, we got the river that separates us. We got to work for our sports. That just makes such a big difference for our sports because we don't have a big pond where we get all of our players out of So the players that we get that do come out, we know they want to play. We know they want to play, and how important it is to when you have a family like JD's family, his whole family went to Satellite, and the fact that he chose because transferring is somewhat okay now to do, I guess. It's commonplace.
Yeah,
it does happen quite a bit.
Yeah, so the fact that you got to keep someone from your city, from your community that their whole family went through, that he came to the school, you just know that he wants to play there.
That's right.
Makes that much
and even last year, that was another thing I told a lot of people I was proud of is, what we did last year, that was with our guys, We didn't necessarily have any transfers. We also didn't lose anybody. It was just our dudes, homegrown talent.
Our dudes.
And we made it happen, So that's a little bit about our summer, some of the changes that are happening at Satellite, a little bit about, kind of last year and how last year and this time last year, how it set the tone for all of our success last year, and now kind of where we're at this year. So let's talk a little bit about Space Coast. We got them coming to Satellite Stadium on Friday night at 7 o'clock, and I look forward to seeing everybody there. I promise I won't be able to say hi to everybody. I'm going to be hyper-focused on getting that W, but I can assure you that we will hear you on the sidelines. And when we're on defense, you better be loud, and when we're on offense, be quiet. But make sure to cheer our defense on when they're out there, and be that 12th man for us to make it life harder on that offense.
The crowd doesn't realize how much that affects the
and the band's awesome too.
The band is great. Sometimes you guys would be yelling on what play for me to run on the defense.
Sales blasting in your ear.
What are you guys talking? Literally sales every single time. Our band's great though. I appreciate them. They after every game I would make sure I go up to thank them for everything that they've done. But
and the cheerleaders and everybody.
Yeah, you can tell because you said when our offense comes up, make sure you stay a little quiet. But when the defense comes on, be extra loud for that.
Be crazy loud.
Yeah, so you don't want them to hear themselves even think.
That's right.
You want to get in their heads.
Yeah, so there was a couple times, I think it was the astronaut game, where they were crazy loud, and the astronaut had a couple penalties.
That game was absolutely insane.
That was a tough game.
We were literally playing in Vietnam.
It was 1940s football.
Yeah, it's a
mud fest. It was
sand. I had sand in places I've never had sand before.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
18 showers after the game.
I remember I have a picture of me and Cameron Seda. We were on the sideline. We were like, dude, this is our first home game. We've won most what game was that? Our
fifth or sixth.
So we lost one game. Yeah, against Mel. But I remember we were like, this is our first home game. Like, we've been showing out on the road. We have to show it here at home with all these fans, because that was the most fans, I think.
It was packed.
Yeah, that was
and it was homecoming too.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was just like butterflies in my stomach, everything.
Those good
we were sitting there praying, praying during the game. I was like, we really need this win, and of course, we pulled it off.
Yeah, that was a great win. That was an absolute battle. But
every game just brought us closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, you're right. Each one had its own piece and developed in the whole.
You
season.
learn everything from each game, literally.
Yep. And then when I look at that season and even last year, I think back to the games like that, and that's the type of energy that we're looking for on Friday. It'll be a red out, so everybody wear red from head to toe, paint your face, go crazy. We're actually going to be in a red out too. We're going to be kind of color rush style, red on red.
I don't think
so. I don't know if you've seen that. Well, here's the away jersey, which is nice. We got the chrome look.
They kind of look like the North or the NC State jerseys.
Yeah.
That's what they look like.
NC State, you'll get a little Nebraska-esque with us this year, but we're gonna be wearing our red on red, kind of like the Bucks color rush uniform.
That's nice.
It'll be nice. So we'll be matching the fans
on the face
mask.
That's
nice.
We'll
be matching the fans.
On the
field.
Adidas jerseys are cool. I like those.
Stretching out. That's right. They look tiny though. When our offensive lineman, I think when Burge pulled his out, he started laughing. He was like, "Ha! I kept not wearing this," and it actually does work. It stretches out really well.
I always count on you to hook us up with the nice jerseys. Though.
Yeah, that's what the guy. Hey, you got to take care of the boys, man. You work hard for me. I work hard for you.
Feel good, play good.
That's right, man. So let's talk a little bit about Space Coast. We didn't play Space Coast last year, but you played them as a junior when you were there. We went to Space Coast. Last time we played them, I think final score was 42-17. We won that game. But from my perspective, just a little bit short, sweet scouting report. Matt Diesel is the new head coach. He was a defensive coordinator at Titusville.
Diesel.
Yeah, Diesel. I like
cool
that
last
name.
name. Yeah,
cool. So he just got hired this year. So he's a new head coach there, but I've known him quite a bit. And he's a good person, great coach, and does a really great job, kind of class act up there at Space Coast. And we're excited to host them this Friday.
It's always fun to play them.
Yeah, they're always a tough opponent, and we're preparing for it. They show up. So offensively, what they like to do, they have a little bit of a mixture of a wildcat. They got a good athlete. His name's I think his name's Justin Brown is number 5. Another good little outside wide receiver. He's kind of a slot guy. They like to run on some jet sweeps. Number 1.
I remember our junior season. They were all about that passing.
They mix that in. So there's a good mixture. They are pretty balanced. So. And then they also have kind of a big running back, number 2, who also plays linebacker for them. So, and then defensively, they'll mix it up. They like to. They're pretty much an even front. So 4 down linemen with 3 backers, and then they'll kind of mix their coverages up in the secondary. But again, we're always going to stick to who we are and our identity on defense and on offense. We're not going to. Yeah, we really try not to let teams dictate to us. We try and dictate to them. And again, I'm just excited, like you were talking about with Key West, for this to be this to set the tone for the whole season. So,
of course, yeah.
What you'll see from us, I kind of just talked about it. But I'll talk about the offense, and then I'll talk about a little bit about the defense, and then Nunu can kind of add some stuff about his perspective of the defense playing in it for last year and kind of how Coach Hodges does it. But offensively, you're going to see us. We're going to be a tempo team, and we're going to be a tempo team for the next 50 years. That's just who we are. It works. It matches our talent, our intelligence level. Our kids embrace it. They love it, and it's something that really matches and gives us an edge on Friday nights that we've never had before. So we like to put our best players in space against their worst players. So, and it's all about creating matchups, whatever motions or formations we use to do that. But tempo, I don't care if you're 6'5", 5-star. When you get tired, you make poor decisions.
Oh, I remember. Sometimes you guys would go so fast, you were scoring 2 plays, and we'd be on defense for like 4, sometimes 5, and like,
sorry,
Coach Kimmey,
that's what Coach Hodges would say too on the net. Coach, come on, man, how many possessions we got, right?
We'd be on the field, I swear.
Oh, we scored. Oh, crap, we got to go back again. We were just on.
Come on.
Yeah.
I remember give me some break, give me a few breaks on the kickoff special teams. You know, realize you had some tired players.
Yeah, I remember you would come up to me in practice and you go, Coach, facing this offense is crazy. He's like, you used to say,
I remember.
I don't even know how these other teams are gonna. How do they do it?
Alan, remember last year? Alan, I don't know how to say his last name.
Oh yeah, Zlatarzinski.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. But I remember he interviewed me and he was like, "So what does this tempo have to do? Like, how does this benefit you guys?" And I was saying it benefits us because when we practice against our own offense, that like is just going fast, nonstop. Right. Like when we get into the game, other teams really don't play high tempo, which I don't understand why. You know, it's a good thing.
Have
to
a little bit of an aspect of it. You don't have to be as all the time as we are, but you could have. I always believe you should have some up tempo style.
Yeah, and I was just like, when we go out on that field, everyone else doesn't have that high tempo, so we're just we're conditioned.
And the game slows down a little bit, you know, because you're so used to playing
especially
so fast.
With Noah back there, can't even keep your eyes on him. He's like everywhere at once.
He's a squirrely little kid, man.
I always like called him like an antelope. Reminds me of an antelope.
Like he just bounces around.
Like, so covers like 10 yards
and everything.
2 steps. Like.
But yeah, so and now we got John Hinkle will start the game for us. He's a sophomore. He lost 30 pounds. He's 210 pounds.
Good. He's looking good.
Actually looks like a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm confident in this year.
And he's leading and he's positive and the guys are trusting him. So
I could tell he was going to be a good quarterback. I remember last year when Noah got hurt during the Harmony game. He came in, and I could see it in his eyes. He was really nervous. I just went up to him. I was like, "Listen, man. If I was you, I would be nervous too. I'd be very, very nervous.
Every freshman in the world would have big eyes in this moment.
And it was a close game. So like for him to be going in at that time, and it was late in the game. I think we were down by a touchdown, maybe. I think so because Lewis got that touchdown that tied us up.
Right.
Yeah. So he came in. I was like, "Listen, man, just relax. Like you're doing good in practice. Do your thing. Don't worry about it." And he went in, had some good plays, you know, and I was just like, I could tell the way he carried himself, his demeanor and everything. And even when he had a couple mess ups, he was still positive about himself, kept the head up. He never was too down.
And he's a positive kid, you know. But
he's very vocal.
His biggest challenge this summer was being able to balance, you know, always wanting to smile and be positive in the face of adversity, which is important, no doubt. But to also be able to say, all right, now it's time to be serious. Like this is what we need to do. Hey, receiver, this is your route. O-line, this is what you're doing.
The best players got to realize like what they do wrong to improve themselves.
And he rose to the challenge, and we're excited to see him get to kind of put all this hard work from this summer on Friday.
Hinkle back there, and who else do you have?
Court Green. So Court Green's he's got a different skill set than John, but he's a great athlete, kind of a big-bodied kid. And just kind of loves contact. He's a positive kid. He leads. He's a hyper competitor.
Basketball player.
And he's a basketball player. So he sees the field a little different way, you know, but it's good. You know, he's really fit in well, and he's even playing a little bit of defense for us. He's playing a little bit of outside linebacker.
Yeah, I actually heard that,
Yeah, he's playing. He just loves contact, you know. So he's a good kid, great member of our program. So you will be, you know, I think you'll be impressed with the amount of hard work these boys have put in, and then you'll see that offensively.
People don't realize like we put in like tons and tons of work. Like
this is 3 weeks
after I graduated. I was like, we put in like lots of work.
For
like
11 games.
Watching you guys do all that is because I lived that. I lived that for 4 years. You know, like getting a text at like 7:30 a.m. Be in my room at blah 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 for film.
Like, oh,
we have to be at Zon.
Right now the phone is silent. No Coach Kimmey text
service, all that stuff, and I'm like, wow, my phone is dead.
Like, it never stops, man. But defensively on Friday night, like I said, you know, offensively, let me finish one more plug. I'm really excited about 2 other things. I think it's the best receiving core we've had in a long time.
Gunner,
just consistent across the board. Yeah, Gunner, Bo, Alex Goodale, Jackson Hinkle, a couple big body outside wide receivers.
Yeah, they are big.
And a couple slot guys that can kind of
Bo's getting better
blow
and
the
better,
top off of it.
Remember that in Cocoa Beach, the first play of the game, just to the crib, kickoff.
And then the I think it was Bayside too. First play of Bayside, 72 yards.
He reminds me of kind of like a younger Caden, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And he's going to have
always show out, you know, always clutch.
Huge year.
I'm excited for him.
Yeah, and then basically the other thing I'm excited about is, you know, out on the offensive line we're going to return 4 of our 5 guys. You know, Bruger, Bergeron, Lacey, and Husenveld all started and played for us last year.
At center, I think.
And then Will Russell at center. So
he's a big kid.
Good, positive, you know, start up front. And then so defensively, and then at running back, we're going to kind of go. Max Hinkle broke his collarbone, so he's going to be out.
Throw Bo in there.
Yeah. We're going to mix it up, kind of like a three-headed monster type system that the Eagles do. You got Jay Ajayi there. He's kind of your every down guy.
Scary.
You got LeGarrette Blount who can score in the goal line on third down.
Punch it in.
And then you got Corey Clement who can catch passes out of the backfield. So we're gonna kind of mix it up.
All three of those types of guys.
We do. Yep. So we're gonna mix it up. So it'll be cool to see. And then defensively, I'm excited about our D line. We returned a lot of guys on the defensive line. Trevor Fish, Scott Wiend. We have a couple new guys there too. Luke Bowling's new there.
He's good, I heard.
Yeah,
really
big kid, 6'3", 220.
And Coach Hodges was telling me about him.
Right,
He's really good.
Yep, he's a kind of just got a great motor.
Mm-hmm.
He has a nose for the football, and then our linebacking core, a lot of those guys are the same. Chuggy and JD will be there. JD's moving to Mike, and then we added Tanner Gammon. He's playing weak side linebacker. Yeah,
him and Scott were
Coach Persichetti loves Tanner.
I
so
know, I
when I told him, Coach Persichetti doesn't like a project, but he's our linebacker coach. But I told him, I said, we had kind of had a hole there at outside linebacker, and we said, hey, look, let's try Tanner there. Let's just see. So he started coaching Tanner up and everything. And he's like, and now, he loves Tanner. He's just like
Tanner and Scott were tearing it up last year.
Yeah. And Tanner's so good off the edge.
Yeah.
And how Coach likes to blitz off the edge quite a bit. So
defense, I remember he would always just talk play fast, aggressive, get that ball, and it helped us a lot because it kind of matched our offensive type.
Oh yeah, they complement each other perfectly.
Very well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and then safety wise, we'll have Gunner and Jaime Steffen in the backfield. Jaime's kind of that come downhill, hit you in the mouth, Cam Sato-esque type kid, and they look like each other.
They do.
And then
got bigger calves. But.
Yeah. And then Gunner's that kind of robber, Caden Larkin type guy, who's going to try and attack the middle of the field, but also come down and hit you. And then corners will rotate. Bo Cole, Alex Goodale, Parker Jones will play out there. He's been doing a great job for us. So
you had some holes, but you can fill them out really well.
Yeah, we have a good rotation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep, and then to be honest with you, I have you haven't seen it yet, but I will tell you, Kyle Downey is kicking the lights out of the football. Alan Zlotowski from Space Coast Daily was at practice, and he was walking around, and Kyle hit 50 yards in a row.
Kyle, I remember he interviewed him, and Downey was like, Downey sent me the link automatically. And then over text, he's like, yo, watch this. Like, look at me, look at me.
In the article that he wrote, he called Downey one of the best kickers in the county. And I agree. I'm with it.
100%.
Finally, he's getting the recognition he deserves. And it's his senior year. I think he's got a little more motivation than he's had before.
Yeah, I've talked to him a lot about it. I help him with that. I used to, last year, I used to go to the field all the time, hold his kicks for him. I was like, dude, if you ever need it, because I remember when his brother used to come down from Mount Union.
Right.
He was a great kicker too, but he would come down and help Downey kick and everything. But I was like, dude, if your brother's never here,
we'll
just
go do it.
Text me, I will hold that ball for you. I love it's fun. We were friends and everything too, so it kind of just worked out.
Yeah, and he's
great kid,
and he's just. We kick every. We'll always do field goal PAT in practice every day, and he has just been consistent as heck. And like I said, I don't know if it's because it's his senior year. I don't know what it is, but
it's confidence.
He is hyper motivated, and now he is confident. Which once that fire gets lit, it's hard to put out.
I've smacked that confidence. I remember last year he was just nervous. There'd be a kick and he'd be like, "Oh man, I know I can get this, but I'm thinking way too much."
Right.
And I've just kind of I've talked to him a lot about it. And he just needs to be more confident in himself.
Yeah.
He's gotten taller. He's putting a little bit of weight on.
6 inches.
Putting some weight on. I've talked to him about it. And he's he always goes "Yo, I'm looking big, huh, Nunu?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're getting there."
Getting there.
I remember I picked him up from his house the other day, and he had his shirt sleeves rolled up and everything. I was like, "Oh, so you think you're big now?"
Yeah, he's got it. So hey, that's what we do here at Satellite. We get even our kickers are big.
Yeah,
that's what we do. So and I know he's got some good goals this season. Obviously he broke the single season record for points last year, but now his goal is to break his distance record. His goal is to kick over a 52-yarder. I think that's Austin's record at Satellite.
Yeah, can do it.
So Kyle's looking to do that this year, and again, that's another reason to come show up. We're going to be dynamic offensively, defensively, and even in the special teams game with our kicker and a lot of the things that we do on special teams. So again, this Friday, be there. Scorp Nation, red out, wear red, 7 o'clock at the Scorp Den. And we'll be taking Scorp Dome. I don't even know. Like that was the when the AD when the AD and the principal first came on board. They said like, "What's the name of the stadium?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Scorp Dome.
Scorp Den.
Where do scorpions stay?
They stay in dens. I don't know why it's a dome. It's not a dome. There's nothing over top of it.
I wish we had some on top of it. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. But so we'll see you there. Like I said, 7 o'clock, and we're looking forward to kicking off the season right and setting the tone for the whole 2018-19 season. After the game, also. Actually, before the game, Long Doggers is feeding us. So shout out to JC and our Beachside Long Doggers for supporting the team. And then afterwards, they're also going to keep Long Doggers open later after the game is over. And you remember those were always fun.
The Beef O Brady's.
The Beef O Brady's and the Long Doggers. Yeah. So this one will be going to Long Doggers after the game. And I'm excited to get the Long Doggers celebrating that W with all the community and fans and players. And looking to kick off another great season. And Nunu will be right here with me and with you guys every week. And we'll be talking about each week's game coming up. And then we'll review the last week's game for the previous week. So for Coach Kimmey.
Andrew Abendroth.
This has been the Sunday Coach's Corner. And we will see you guys next week.
Thank you very much.
Go Scorps.
Go Scorps.